I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of realizing I lived wrong and no one warned me. I'm 84 years old. If you're watching this, please don't do what I did, because I didn't lose everything in one mistake. I lost it in thousands of small ones. My name is Harold, and for most of my life I thought I was doing enough. Not perfect, just enough. Enough work, enough effort, enough responsibility. I believed love was proven by exhaustion, by coming home tired, by sacrificing myself for the future. I believed that if I was worn out, it meant I cared, I worked, I worried, I carried pressure silently. And I told myself that was what being a man looked like. People respected me, they trusted me, they said I was reliable. No one ever asked if I was present. At home, the silence grew slowly, so slowly, I didn't notice it replacing everything else. I had a son. His name was Daniel. He was gentle, in a way that required attention, the kind of child who didn't interrupt, didn't demand. He waited. When he was small, he followed me everywhere, like I was gravity. He sat near my chair, near my legs, close enough to feel included. He drew pictures on the floor, careful pictures, pictures that took time. Every time he finished one, he looked up first, not at the paper, at me. "Dad, look." And I said things like, "Just a second, not now, later." I always meant later. I didn't understand that later feels like rejection when you're small. I didn't understand that every time I delayed him, I was teaching him where he ranked. Sometimes he fell asleep right there on the floor, still holding his drawings. I remember stepping over him, careful not to wake him. I remember thinking how quiet the house felt. I remember liking that. That thought follows me everywhere now. As the years passed, he asked less, waited less. He stopped showing me his drawings, stopped sitting near me. I told myself he was becoming independent. I didn't realize he was becoming careful. Careful not to bother me. Careful not to need me. There's a moment when children stop hoping. It doesn't come with anger. It comes with acceptance. They accept that you are not the place they land anymore. I missed that moment completely. When he became a teenager, he stayed in his room more. I didn't knock. I told myself privacy was respect. The truth was, I didn't want to be needed. I was already tired. I was always tired. That word protected me from guilt for years. There were nights he came home late. I didn't ask where he'd been, not because I trusted him, because I didn't want another responsibility. I told myself I would talk to him properly someday, when things calmed down. They never did. Life doesn't calm down. It just distracts you until it's over. There was one evening I still replay. He stood in the doorway of my room, not saying anything, just standing there. I remember feeling annoyed before I even knew why. I finally looked up and said, "What?" He hesitated, then said, "It's nothing," and walked away. That was the last time he ever tried to enter my world. At the time, it felt ordinary, forgettable. I didn't feel pain. I felt relief. Relief that I could go back to what I was doing. That's how dangerous it was. The moments that destroy you don't feel heavy when they happen. They feel convenient. Years passed. We lived in the same house. We barely spoke. I knew facts about his life, his schedule, his responsibilities. I didn't know his fears. I didn't know his loneliness. I told myself fathers and sons don't talk about those things. What I was really saying was, I don't know how. Eventually he stopped calling, stopped reaching out, and I told myself this was normal.
I even told myself I had done my job well. I didn't realize that silence doesn't mean peace. It means distance. And distance, left unattended, becomes permanent. There was a sentence he said once, just once, so small, it barely registered. I dismissed it the way I dismissed everything else. That sentence should have scared me. Instead, I forgot it. And now, that sentence is all I hear. Because some mistakes don't break things loudly. They empty them, slowly, until one day you look around and realize there's nothing left inside. I want to show you something, not a tragedy, not a dramatic moment, just life as it looked back then. These photos were taken during the years I thought everything was fine. Look at us. We look normal, safe, complete. This is the dangerous part, because when things look normal, you don't stop. You don't question yourself. You don't slow down. You think, there's time. In these years, nothing was wrong enough to scare me. We ate together sometimes. We talked about schedules. We celebrated birthdays. From the outside, this looks like a family. And that's why I didn't notice what was missing. No one teaches you this. Love doesn't disappear loudly. It disappears quietly, between routines, between tired evenings, between tomorrow. When you look at old photos, you don't see absence. You see smiles. But absence doesn't show up in pictures. It shows up years later, when there's no one left to take new ones. There were calls. At first, they were normal calls, short ones, awkward ones. Dad, do you have a minute? And I would answer the same way every time. Not angry, not cruel, just distant. Not now. I'm busy. I'll call you back. I believed that sentence. I really did. I believed I would call him back. Sometimes I even picked up the phone later, stared at his name, and put it down again, because I didn't know what to say. That's the part people don't talk about. It's not that you don't care. It's that you're afraid of the conversation you avoided for too long. Avoidance slowly turns into fear. Fear turns into silence, and silence becomes a habit. There was one call I remember clearly, because it sounded different. His voice wasn't asking anymore. It was careful, like he didn't want to disturb me. He said, "Dad, it's okay if you can't talk. I just wanted to hear your voice." I laughed. I said something stupid. Don't be dramatic. That sentence lives inside me now. I didn't hear pain. I heard inconvenience. That's what distance does. It rewires how you listen. After that, the calls slowed down. Then they stopped, and something shameful happened. I felt relief. No more guilt. No more missed calls. No more reminders that I was failing at something I didn't know how to fix.
I'm 84 now. People ask me what my biggest regret is. They expect something dramatic. It isn't. My biggest regret is that the last version of me my son knew was distracted. If you're watching this and someone came to mind, don't argue with that feeling. Go to them. Sit down. Don't fix anything. Don't explain yourself. Just listen. Because one day you'll have all the time in the world and no one left. If you're still here, thank you for listening. If any part of this, it felt familiar, if any sentence stayed with you longer than it should have, please write it in the comments. That's for needs, for someone else who might need to read it. If you want me to keep telling you what I learned too late, share this video with someone you care about. And if you don't want to miss the next story, you can subscribe. I'll be here as long as I can. Thank you for listening.